Entry 1. We need help, and lots of it. I could have used all the help that I could find, but I had found none. I had Patrick lying next to me. His skin was pale as the snow outside of the cavern we were hiding in. His lips had the faint pink of the leaves of an almond tree. His skin was wet from sweat, even though we were freezing. I took another look at his leg. It was bad, worse than I remembered. The black layer had covered all the way up to his knee. It wasn't functional. Not anymore. I tried to keep us warm with a small bonfire I'd lit, but it wasn't enough. The rations were slowly running out. The cans we took along the way were enough for a few days of camping, but it's been weeks. The scavenging was getting harder as the snow had covered everything in the forest. And I was alone. Alone with a man who couldn't speak, couldn't walk, on a pile of gold. What could gold do when I had nothing to eat? Entry 2. Today, as I was hypnotized by the dance of the fire, I heard voices. Maybe it was my imagination, but I definitely heard them speak. I left Patrick behind, covered under a blanket, stepped outside in the cold. I looked around, but there was nothing except endless forest. Everything covered in the white dress of nature. I kept looking over the cavern, behind the woods, until I found a set of footsteps. Huge footsteps. Both of my feet couldn't make up one. I couldn't believe my eyes. Probably a bear. A very big one. I don't know. I ain't never seen bears in this part of the woods. While I was outside, I decided to scavenge for food. I walked deeper into the white forest, with each step churning in the snow, as if I was walking on pieces of glass. I shook a few bushes and tried to find something edible. Maybe berries or anything at this point, but there was nothing. Getting back, before I could get close enough, a scream came from the caves. It wasn't Patrick. It wasn't a bear. The scream was deep, low, and brutal. A primitive scream of a bloodthirsty creature. I don't know why, but I ran toward the cave. I like Patrick, but I wouldn't give my life for him. Still, I ran toward the cave. When I got there, I saw a trail of blood along with huge footsteps leading deeper into the woods. Near the edge of the forest, I saw Patrick's leg standing in the snow, black and rotten. I could only feel my legs tremble. My heart raced. I looked around and saw the trail of blood on the ground, a red river floating through the valley. I grabbed my musket in my freezing hands, and I followed the trail for a few miles. In the distance, I could hear huge footsteps pounding the ground. I was dead scared, but I kept going. I had a hunch that Patrick was alive. Maybe all that blood was from the bear, or the beast. After a few miles, I witnessed the source of the growl, and the source of the blood. In front of me, I saw no bear or wounded creature. I saw Patrick, scrambled in a pile of flesh and bones, stomped to death. And next to him, I saw it. A big creature, with fangs longer than any pickaxe and eyes yellow as fever. I saw the Sasquatch that killed my friend. I raised my gun, and I shot him. The shot echoed in the forest, followed by a blood-curdling scream. The beast was still there, staring at me. Blood was flowing from his chest, but it seemed that the bullet only enraged it. Without a single thought, I threw my musket and turned around and ran as fast as I could. I couldn't stop running as I heard the footsteps closing in behind me. A branch caught my right foot. I tripped, felt the whole ground below me vanish as I fell straight ahead. I landed on a tree. I shattered a few of my ribs, and I split my head, but I got up and ran. The blood was flowing into my eyes, but I didn't stop. I ran all the way back to our cave and hid behind the large rock filled with gold. I could hear the monster sniffing around outside, but Patrick's smell was still stronger than mine. I could see the beast leave, so I laid down to try to get some relief. Final entry. I write this now, since the adrenaline is worn off. I thought I could escape this cave. That Patrick was the one slowing me down. But that's just not true. With my ribs shattered, I know I'm not going to make it. Whoever reads this, run. For you're not safe from this beast. Run. Roger put down the old yellowed paper on the tattered pile of bones in front of him. Monster, eh? We'll see about that, he said with his heavy accent, grabbing the pile of gold next to the body. He rose up, prepared to go. And he heard it. A loud primal scream. A bloodthirsty roar in the distance.